Oh my gosh. Listen, I just did this video, right? And I'm about to share the video. But in the process of doing this video, man, I gotta redo the video. I had put the video together and everything, but in the process, I'll just do this one separately and post it separately. In the process of doing the video, then like the Lord began to speak to me. So you know me, is I said everything I was gonna say for the video, right? And then, but when I got ready to post it, I just get to type it, and it just keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going, right? And so I go to look for, when I finally get to the end of it, like I'm about to end it, and I go to look for my case in point scriptures. And I'm just going to put the scriptures down there. Right? I haven't even finished the post and I'm doing this video. The very first scripture I look at is it like confirms every single thing that I wrote. And I'm about to share this scripture with you. Okay, so it started off me writing about death, and I was saying in the video how, like there's been time, like I've had a few near death, like I could have been dead. I should have been dead, sleeping in my grave. A few experiences of that. And I don't know if any of you have had some, but if you haven't, just a week ago, the young man, I don't like watch much TV, but my husband doesn't. He does watch the sports. And so he was literally watching the game when the young boy, I think he had a heart attack on the field, and the young man, after he did a tackle or something, he stood up. If I remember correctly, how my husband said it, he stood up and then he like fell over, and my husband said that he died at least about 3 times. Like they brought him back, but in the ambulance he died a couple of more times, and they brought him back, right? And so the young man is fine now. I don't know his name, but you guys already know, like everybody's been talking about it. From what I hear, everybody's been talking about it on social media. And then somebody sent me a post about the other young man who was bothered about it. So I posted about that part, with the other young man who was the last one to have contact with him before this young man went through all that. So anyway, I say all that to say, like that was a miracle, seeing this young man go through that. And then so he had a situation where he escaped death, right? And so that's what I was like, out the blue, I'm doing something else as usual it's 7 now, but it was like around 5 when maybe 6 when I started this. So I'm working on something else, and next thing I know, this is what I'm writing about, because what I was working on, and I saw this one scripture, and so let me just tell y'all, activation keys. That's what I'm working on, activation keys. And I see this scripture, and it led me to this post, the first post, and then I see this scripture, and it leads to this video. So here is the scripture in the video, or in the writings, if you've seen it already. If you haven't, go check it out. But in the writings, one of the things that I mentioned is that all of us, like this post, I'm gonna say it again, just like I said it with the other posts. Normally when I post videos, normally it's for the Christian community, normally. But this post is not that post. This post is not limited to the Christian community. It is for everybody worldwide. And basically, whether you're a Christian or not, basically. And basically in the post, I was stating that we are all of us, every last one of us that is breathing and walking on this earth, we have God's spirit inside of us. Where do you think that breath came from? God blew into the nostril of man, and man became a living being. We are alive because we are breathing God's exhalation, okay? All of us. So we all are called according to God's purpose. Sometimes Christians seem to think that only I'm a Christian, so only we are called according to God's purpose, but that's not true. All of us, some are called for noble purposes, and some are called for ignoble purposes, right? And I mentioned that in the video. And so I also mentioned in the video that, the other video, that we Like, okay, so have you ever heard of people talking about, I got free will, I can make my own choices, I could do it? Yes, you have free will. Everybody has free will, but we need to understand what that free will is. We need to understand what God has given us the free will to choose. We all of us are called according to God's purpose. We all have free will. We can choose life or death. God says, I'm handing both of these to you. Life or death. Choose. He says, choose life. But I'm handing to you life or death, and these are your consequences. We can choose. Here's something else. Noble or ignoble. We can choose to have a noble purpose or an ignoble purpose. For example, I'm going to use this as an example. This here. This is an adapter inside it. You can see it if I hold it this way. That little plug there fits into my computer. And basically what it does is for my microphone, I would stick this on the end of the microphone and then put the microphone in the computer. So it's just an adapter, right? So this container, I'm about to close it up for a second. This container has a noble, this plastic case has a noble purpose. The noble purpose of the plastic container is that it carries what is on the inside of it. It protects it until this is purchased. But listen, if I want to use this that is on the inside, I have to open this container up and take it out, right? That's the only way that I can use this, right? But once I take it out, this container that once had a noble purpose now is ignoble. Is now ignoble. So the key, listen, much time I got, okay, because I gotta wind this up. I go into more detail about this about the noble and ignoble purposes and helping us to understand what that is and the fact that that is our free will choice. I go into more about that in the 5 C's of a Soldier of Christ masterclass. That is coming, but it's not coming before I release the Dress for Battle. The Dress for Battle is coming first, and then I'll be preparing for the 5 C's of a Soldier of Christ masterclass. And actually, it's in the second year study, the junior studies, the second year. There's 4 levels of study for this masterclass. There's 4 levels of study. There's your freshman. It's in the sophomore year. My bad. Excuse me, y'all. It's in the sophomore year, not the junior year. It's in the sophomore year. So there's a freshman level first, and then the sophomore level, then the junior, then the senior level for the masterclass. It's 4 levels. So yeah, we all have a choice. We all have a choice. And let me tell y'all before anybody get to jumping down my back talking about 2 Timothy chapter 2 verses 20 and 21. That is where you will see. I'm just gonna give it to you. 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 20 and 21. That is where, I'm repeating myself, you'll get a chance to see the ignoble and the noble choices, purposes that for which we're created, and the fact that you get to choose. But let me get to this, because I want to show you this, because in that video, which is why I'm doing this one, I had, or not the video, but the writing for the video, I had mentioned that if you have been living a lifestyle, whether Christian or non-Christian, because let me tell y'all, there's some Christians that are living in ignoble lifestyles, whether you have been exposed or not, you will be soon. We get to clean it up. God gets to clean it up, but if we don't clean it up, then what's going to happen is that rod of correction is going to come out and it will be exposed. God says stuff done in the dark will come to the light. But anyway, if whether Christian or non-Christian, you are walking a lifestyle that is ignoble, and you decide, I don't want this no more, I don't want to do this no more. This is not who I am. This is not who I want to be. You get to choose to change. And listen, God is able to take you from an ignoble lifestyle and repurpose you and set you on a noble lifestyle. Case in point. Case in point, myself in the walk in the life that I have today in comparison to this person prior 2022, no, prior 2002 2002, 2003, when the Lord came for me and got me and he cleaned me up. So anyway, let me show you somebody else. I ain't in this alone. Let me show you somebody else. This is the apostle. This is Saul. So this is Acts chapter 26, and this was the reason why I had to come and do this video. It says, while thus occupied as I journeyed, and this is Paul telling his story, right? Acts chapter 26, it says, starting at verse 12, while thus occupied as I journeyed to Damascus with authority and commission from the chief priests at midday, O king, along the road I saw, where's my glasses? I saw a light from heaven brighter than the sun shining around me and those who journeyed with me. And when we all had fallen to the ground, I heard a voice speaking to me, saying in the Hebrew language, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? It is hard for you to kick against the goads. I'm going to explain that in a whole nother video. It says, so I said, who are you, Lord? And he said, I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting. But rise and stand on your feet, for I have appeared to you for this purpose, to make you a minister and a witness both of the things which you have seen and of the things which I will yet reveal to you. I will deliver you from the Jewish people as well as from the Gentiles, to whom I now send you, to open their eyes in order to turn them from darkness to light and from the power of Satan to God, that they may receive forgiveness of sins and an inheritance among those who are sanctified by faith in me. Let me tell you, God is able to repurpose us and give us a whole new purpose, a whole new identity. Just because you might be walking in, and only you know what you're walking in, but just because you might be walking in a life that is deemed ignoble, not by man, but by God, and you come to your senses, or you come to the decision or the realization that, you know what, this ain't even me, this ain't what I want. This, God, you have got to have something better for me in life. He can turn you around and place your feet on solid ground. He can do it. He can do it. All right, I gotta go. Bye, y'all.